Hello, welcome to the Showboys Newscast, bringing you all news and no opinion. My name is Mike.
And I am Nick.
Thanks for joining us. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get right to it. And first up on the docket is a slew of DC news, which is exciting to me. But first up, we have an order on a docuseries that is going to be covering DC itself. So Academy Award and Emmy-nominated director Leslie Iwerks has been tapped to lead a 3-part documentary on the history of DC. The series will shed light on untold stories, follow the progression of DC, and analyze its influential legacy. The series will be released on HBO Max. That sounds pretty awesome, if you ask me. I always enjoy a good docuseries, especially learning about one of my favorite comic companies. That would be great.
DC.
That's right.
And also, by the way, if you've won an Academy Award, but they did not get, and you're only Emmy nominated, something's messed up. Like,
yeah,
the Academy Award is much a higher prestige than an Emmy. I'm pretty sure. So the Emmys need to just vote that stuff in.
Yeah, come on, get with it, guys. Next up, we have a nice spicy rumor that maybe some of us saw coming after the Snyder Cut happened, and that is a rumor that the Ayer Cut will be of the Suicide Squad, or I shouldn't say the Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, that's James Gunn's new movie, The Suicide Squad. But Ayer was the director of Suicide Squad. Yeah, there's rumors floating around out there that the Ayer Cut may be releasing in 2022. Reportedly arriving on HBO Max next year, could be the Ayer Cut of Suicide Squad. Ayer has been previously vocal about his displeasure for the original release and the impact executives within Warner Bros. Had on the final product. WB did not take kindly to his brazenness and seemingly punished him by declining to publish the sought-after Ayer Cut. However, following the Discovery merger that happened recently, the attitude has shifted at WB, and the Ayer Cut looks like it could see the light of day yet. Yes, the miraculous merger of Discovery Warner Brothers, where they decided to actually put out good content and content people actually want to see. Shocking. But yeah, that's exciting because there's a lot of controversy with Ayer's Suicide Squad and how the initial trailers ended up being nothing like what was actually released, and the movie got kind of dumped on by fans and critics alike, and kind of deservedly so. And it's not shocking that Warner Brothers had their hands, arms up to their elbows in another movie and making it, terrible. So hopefully Ayer gets his cut released. That would be exciting. Yeah, moving on. We have another rumor, and this one involves Ezra Miller. So Ezra Miller is set to star in the standalone Flash trilogy. Reports from Giant Freaking Robot suggest that the 2022 film will just be the first of 3 Flash movies to feature Miller. Miller has previously starred as the Flash in 3 films, those being Batman vs. Superman, Justice League, and Suicide Squad. Yeah, Flash trilogy would be pretty dope, beginning with the Flash movie that's coming up here soon, telling the Flashpoint story, which I'm really stoked about seeing.
Superheroes that move fast are always cool.
Yes. I liked some of the effects that they did in the Snyder Cut. I think, maybe not making him look like the infamous Sasquatch video while he's running would be a good thing to work on, but
sure.
Some of the other effects during his running was super cool. And the Flash is just a cool character in general. So we'll see how the Flash comes out, and then I will, cast my judgment on whether or not I'm excited for Ezra Miller in 2 more Flash movies. What do you think about him as the Flash in, I guess the most recent, the Snyder Cut?
No, yeah, I mean, I liked him a lot. I don't think I'm not, I'm not a big superhero person, but I watch what I can when the movies come out. And I liked him. I liked his character, though. I do know it wasn't like true to form, but I think we've discussed that, and that's just kind of the nature of movies from comics.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't the Barry Allen I know.
Right, exactly.
But it's okay. I mean, that you're gonna have that. Lastly, rounding out our DC news here, and this is exciting. We talked about Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad, and this little piece of news is that James Gunn is working on other DC projects.
Whoa!
So Gunn is committed to creating more DC films. Per his Twitter account on October 3rd, just a few weeks ago. What are we, 8 days ago at this point? Gunn states that he's currently developing another DC project. No hints at what the project might be referring to, but one possibility is a Suicide Squad sequel, obviously. His affinity for DC and WB has been well documented, which also leads some to believe that the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be his last Marvel movie. I still haven't seen The Suicide Squad, but I've heard pretty great things about the movie. And seeing his work with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm really excited to see what he would do with The Suicide Squad. Tell Hobbs I said, what's up?
Yeah, he said hello with his collar. Jingle jangle.
Yes. But yeah, that wraps up our DC news segment for you guys. It's been a while since we've had a nice chunk of DC news, so I was excited to get some out on the episode tonight.
For sure. But now we're going to move into some gaming news. Because we like games here at Show Boys.
We do.
Gonna have to get that name changed to Game Boys and start the war, Nintendo.
That's right.
New Twisted Metal game in development. Assuming reports are accurate, a new Twisted Metal game is in development. Currently, it's believed that the new game will be free to play and is being developed by Lucid Games. Lucid Games has some experience with similar titles like Switchblade and Destruction All-Stars, which focus on vehicular combat. If it comes to fruition, this will be the first Twisted Metal game in nearly a decade and much needed. If it's good.
Yeah. Twisted Metal was a staple in middle school for me.
Oh yeah,
would be nice to mess around on the new one, that's for sure.
Really, and they would have, at this point, they would have to have like a retro throwback soundtrack option and then also like a modern soundtrack option.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. I sure would. Our gaming news section is rather small this week. We only have one more story for you guys, but could be exciting if you like survival horror and or dinosaurs. The Lost Wild could be the game for you. The studio has been silent on the project for the past couple of years, but just recently released a pre-alpha trailer. The Lost Wild will feature dinosaurs with built-in self-preservation and reactive systemic AI behavior.
Dang, big words.
Quote. Yes, lots of big words in succession there.
Our game's cool. It's going to be cool. Big words.
Yeah. Players will be tasked with scavenging for tools and exploring Japanese facilities while doing their best to not attract predators.
Whoa.
A survival horror dinosaur game sounds pretty dope.
So basically that last sentence is how to survive in Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, so they're describing child actor. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, well, moving on.
Moving on to the HBO segment. Only one article here. Just going to ignore that past little stint there. Try not to get banned from YouTube, we might be pushing those envelopes these days.
True.
But in other HBO Max news, Emma Stone will be starring in a Flicker in the Dark, an adaptation of the Stacey Willingham novel. The story centers around Cole Davis, Chloe Davis, who at 12 years old discovered that her own father had murdered several young girls. Now an adult, Chloe's life falls apart, and as more girls begin to go missing, the series is set to debut in January of the coming year.
Wow, that actually sounds really interesting.
Yeah, a little different. A little, is it scary, maybe?
Sounds scary.
Terrifying, riveting.
I think it would be now. Like I haven't seen Cruella, but
Watch
it
it.
would be interesting to see Emma Stone in a like. I mean, I don't know how
Right.
like serious Cruella is. I'm sure there's still like some
There's-
comedic
yeah.
tones in there, but like this does not sound like there will be any comedic undertones. So it'll be really exciting to see Emma Stone in a much more serious type role like this.
Yeah, she's definitely flexing her acting skills lately as she kind of branches out, I think.
Yeah.
Moving into the MCU segment here. And just like that, it's all over. It wasn't long ago we learned that ScarJo was suing Disney for a breach of contract related to the release of Black Widow. Now, it's been announced that the parties have settled out of court. No details of the settlement have been released. ScarJo may have departed the MCU, but she will be working with Disney again on the Tower of Terror. And also, Black Widow is free to stream on Disney Plus. Well, if you have a subscription, Disney Plus, the $30 premium fee has been waived.
Yeah, I actually saw a commercial about that today.
Yeah, gonna have to keep that. Put an old DVD player, give it a watch.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Well, before we move on, I think I really want to know the details like of the settlement. I hope
true.
I hope one day those become available because I'm really interested to see.
That's tricky. I would not see it be past Disney to be like, hey, we'll give you all this money if you just shut up and never talk about it ever again. Because I don't think they want to also set precedent for this. Because then everyone's gonna do it. Because I'm sure there's plenty other ones that if people had ground to stand on, and precedence here with ScarJo's case, there might be a lot more actors looking to do that, or obviously in the future, because I'm sure it will happen again somewhere. So we may never know.
Yep.
Similar news: Catherine Hahn will be returning as Agatha Harkness in her own spin-off series.
Yeah.
She was a fun character. Everyone liked her, right?
Oh, yeah.
The much beloved WandaVision villain will star in her own Disney Plus production, one that is said to feature dark comedy. No other details are available at the moment, but Disney appears to be responding to the overwhelming positive response to Han's portrayal of the evil witch. I'd watch it,
Yeah, I loved Catherine Hahn as Agatha in WandaVision. It was beautiful.
I mean, I just like it when they take superhero. Well, I just like the idea that like superheroes today are superheroes, but in the past they were other things and tie into actual like lore and myths and things like that. I think that's when superhero stuff gets really interesting in me. And I guess to me that always kind of gets glazed over because everyone wants to focus on like the present day stuff. So I like it when they do like that flashback was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it makes so much sense too.
Yep, for sure. Exciting stuff.
Much exciting.
Moving on here. We have some Netflix news. And two really exciting stories actually. I'm really excited about both of these.
First one, Squid Games.
Oh, dude, that's on the short list to watch. Like,
Ugh,
faux show.
I'm scared.
Yeah, same. But it's gonna happen. But we're not talking about Squid Games. We're talking about our good pal Mike Flanagan.
Yes.
He and co get new series at Netflix. Yes, that's right. You
Nice.
heard it right. Mike Flanagan isn't done wowing audiences yet. The Haunting of Hill House creator and most recently Midnight Mass will be bringing the acclaimed The Fall of the House of Usher to Netflix. This guy likes house themed titles. Just
Yes.
Bly Manor, Hill House. Anyways, now we have the House of Usher. The Edgar Allan Poe work will be turned into an 8-episode series set to contain multiple works of Poe, not just limited to The Fall of the House of Usher. So that's odd. Why would you name the series that then? This will be a standalone series having no connection to Flanagan's previous works, much like most of his other stuff.
Yeah.
Excited about this. I really enjoy his series. I'm really excited. I haven't started Midnight Mass yet, but I'm pumped to do so, and probably will be starting it tomorrow.
I got
yeah.
10 minutes to go on the finale.
Whoa! How did you not just finish the 10? Were you doing that before the show?
Yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
It was a jarring revelation that I was nearly late to the newscast this evening.
That's okay. It makes it all worth it now.
But yes, Mike Flanagan, like through even though like obviously he's had several series out here now, and they're all a little different, but they're all a lot alike. And I think the little difference is like the difference between them is like where people might like or dislike one series to the next. But I think all the things that we like about them and how they're similar, it has to do with just like his style of storytelling and cinematography and just all that stuff as a director. So those are like the most enjoyed things, whether it's Bly Manor, Hill House,
Right.
or even Midnight Mass here.
Yep. Excited. The other piece of Netflix news that has me super excited is the fact that they are developing That 90s Show, which is a spinoff from That 70s Show. And I am so pumped about this. That 70s Show, one of my favorite sitcoms. A lot of great memories watching That 70s Show with my parents back, when it aired on TV, and then rewatching it with my wife a couple years ago. But yeah, now there's a spinoff, That 90s Show, which also makes me feel old because that was like 30 years ago now.
Yeah, when did That 70s Show come out? Was that like
It's
end of
probably in like
90s, 2000s?
I want to say the early 2000s, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's about that time for a 90s then. 20
Yeah.
years later. Rip.
Yep. That 70s Show creators, Bonnie and Terry Turner, will be returning to develop a spinoff on behalf of Netflix. That 90s Show said to follow the daughter of Eric and Donna Foreman as she stays with her grandparents during the summer of 1995. The show is also hoping to return original cast members, with Kitty and Red Foreman already signed on, played by the one and only Deborah Jo Rupp and Kurtwood Smith. Interesting. Good old Eric and Donna Foreman's daughter.
Hope it's good.
Going to spend the summer with her grandparents, Kitty and Red.
Yeah.
In the 90s. That's going to be awesome.
It'll be interesting the look and feel this show will take on, because obviously like That 70s Show had a specific look and feel that made it feel like 70s. So yeah. I just wonder if that's going to land well or it's not. I don't know. I could see that going wrong. Just be very kind of like campy, but maybe that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. We'll see. But we don't have any dates yet, which kind of sucks. But as more news trickles out, we will definitely be reporting on it. So stay tuned. We have a piece of Prime news here before we get into Nick's favorite segment of the newscast. So I'll be brief here. Our favorite Prime show, The Boys, has the spinoff series that we've been talking about finally get an official order. So the untitled spin-off of The Boys is now officially ordered by Amazon. The series is set at a college for superheroes and described as a, quote, irreverent R-rated show that explores the lives of hormonal competitive soups as they put their physical, sexual, and moral boundaries to the test. While the spinoff will exist within the same cinematic universe, it will have a different tone and style altogether. I'm here for it.
It truly would not be a boys spinoff without all three of those things being put to the test.
Right? And speaking of The Boys, while I was scrolling through Facebook earlier, I came across a Liquid Death ad, which is canned water. I don't know if you've ever heard of Liquid Death, but their commercials are usually pretty funny. But it was it was a commercial of Liquid Death being endorsed and promoted by The Deep.
Oh God.
It's so funny.
And that's great.
Yeah, he's just like, you have to watch it. I can't even describe it.
Do we have a date for season 3?
I don't think. I mean, I believe originally it was supposed to be around September of this year, but obviously did not happen. So
Rip.
As of a new date, I don't really know off the top of my head. But hopefully soon, because we need season 3 and a new companion series.
Yeah, might need one before that at this pace.
Yeah. But hey, there might be some coming up here soon as we get into.
All right,
we still need that soundbite.
Do it right now. Record the soundbite and I'll clip it.
Welcome to Star Boys. Wah, 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 wah. Okay.
All right, there it is. That's gonna be it. That is for sure it.
Now, if you could take that and then just mix in some air horns on top of my vocal air horns.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Cool. Makes sense. I'll get right on that. Moving into the Star Boys section, which we actually have some Star Boys news and a rumor. But straight from Diego Luna himself, Andor has wrapped up shooting.
Ain't no rumor there, bro.
No way, Jose. The upcoming Star Wars prequel series will release on Disney Plus in 2022. Luna was also happy to say that we'll see familiar faces throughout the 12-episode season. Wow. That's... Are they going to be 3... 30 minutes? You think they're going to be 30 minutes long? Or you think they're going to be an hour?
That's I'm hoping for 45 to an hour, but if it follows suit with the previous series, we're probably looking at like 30 minutes.
Nah, I could do like 40 minutes. That would be smooth.
Yeah. Well, like 35 minutes and then like 8 minutes of credits, of course.
Right. I just need 10 more minutes than what we've been getting. I just feel like that's all I'm really asking for, just to make them just feel more impactful on the night of, because you have so much anticipation for these shows that come out, and then all of a sudden it's just like gone in a flash, and you got to wait a whole week.
Yeah,
I can't live like this. I need it Netflix style right now.
Yeah.
Onward. Disney also announced the release of the Book of Boba Fett series via its most recent post. Aptly featured on the poster of the date, or on the poster is the debut date, December 29th. Disney Plus describes the Mandalorian spin-off as bounty hunter Boba Fett and mercenary Fennec Shand navigating the galaxy's underworld when they return to the sands of Tatooine to stake their claim on the territory once ruled by Jabba the Hutt and his crime syndicate. That's going to be fun.
Yes. So they're barely squeaking this into 2021, huh?
Yeah. They were like, well, we said it was coming this December, so
yeah. Barely squeaking it in December and 2021.
Can't walk back. Can't walk that back. Just gonna have to force it in here.
Hey, I see what you did there.
Yeah. But yeah, the 29th, man.
Soon enough.
I mean, that means we're gonna not have a companion series basically until next
Yeah.
year at this rate.
2.5 months.
Rip.
So like timeline question for you.
Yeah.
First off, I already forget the Hutt character that's in Clone Wars. Is it Zero?
Zero's one of them, yeah, but that's like the main one they use.
Okay. Where is he within the timeline of Mandalorian and Boba? Or
No,
like
this is all this is after episode 6. This is I think this is after the Mandalorian season 3
okay.
or 2, whichever season they're on. It's basically picking up. I would almost want to say it's going to fit between these 2 Mandalorian seasons we're in between. Because Boba has his gear back. Fennec Shand is right there with him, right? It's basically it's what they go and do after they help Mando do his thing.
Yes.
At the end of the last season. So it's all very much in the Mandoverse at this point.
Okay.
But it's going to be highlighting what's been going on after the fall of Jabba the Hutt in episode 6, which was many, many years ago at this point in the timeline. So what's his face? The Hutt, Jabba's assistant. Drawing a blank on his name, but he's a pretty popular character. He's kind of been just kind of slugging around, basically trying to call the shots. He was in the Bad Batch because he was the one that wanted the Rancor in that episode.
Okay. It'd be awesome to get a live action Bad Batch, but hey.
They could do it, or just those game trailer like cinematography, like some of that action. But no one wants to do any of that. Looking at you, Blizzard. Jerks.
Small indie company.
Jerks.
Small indie company, Lucasfilm.
Yeah. We can make 100% CGI movies, but let's not at all choose the game trailers because no one likes watching those.
Yeah.
Or strings them all together to make 2-hour movies on YouTube of all the game trailers. That's my soapbox.
Right.
Moving on. Here's a rumor we have for you.
Spicy, to say the least.
Spicy, indeed. As The Mandalorian Season 3 begins filming, rumors are already swirling about a possible Season 4. Rumors state that Season 4 has already been greenlit, no surprise, which aligns with Giancarlo Esposito's previous tease of a Season 4. But that's not all. Rumors also suggest that polarizing and embattled actress Gina Carano will be making a return to Disney and the Star Wars franchise. This seems unlikely on its face considering the controversy and her very public firing. Further, her spin-off series Rangers of the New Republic is still on an indefinite hold, but that hasn't slowed down the rumors, which point to her co-stars and even Jon Favreau himself seemingly to support her and her possible return. Even though it's a rumor, I can totally see that because Favreau is more for the art than the politics. And if he likes someone, I mean, dude's going to be like, this is dumb.
Yeah, and if we're just going to get down to brass tacks, the whole situation was so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Like so dumb. So
no one remembers what it was.
Yeah, I'm totally here for this. I would love to see Carano back. I thought her firing in the first place was really dumb. But hey, that's just me. So yeah, I don't know. I hope this happens.
No, yeah, I mean, I just they got to get rid of they have to get rid of the character if they're not going to use her.
Right, and
it would be painful to see them just recast her.
Yeah. I would. I mean, just the fact that Rangers of the New Republic hasn't been canceled and just is on an indefinite hold. Also,
Disney just has to showboat, and then they go back to doing what they do.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to round out the episode here with a handful of miscellaneous news pieces. The first one being Apple TV might not be doing so great here. Yeah, so they Apple TV Plus may be experiencing a bit of a failure to launch. While Netflix and Disney Plus have hundreds of millions of subscribers, Apple appears to be sitting at a paltry 20 million. To put this in some perspective, even Hulu has 43 million subscribers. Man, Cody, why you gotta do Hulu bad like that? Like that is some serious shade. Apple also hands out lengthy free trials, so there may be significantly fewer than 20 million paying subscribers. However, it's Apple, and like Amazon, there's no shortage of cash, and the service will likely be all right in the long term. Yeah, Cody, come on. Hulu's not that bad. I mean, it's not that great, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. We're struggling with Hulu.
Yeah, really?
Just the fact that they crammed the same amount of minutes of ads into a 20-minute show as they do on an hour show.
Yeah.
That's a little uncalled for.
Yeah,
It needs
I
to be appropriate.
Yeah, I gotta say, the ads are a tad ridiculous.
It didn't used to be that bad. I'm okay with 2 ad segments, and that's what it used to be. But now when you hit the little, when you bring up the timeline for your episode, there are a lot more of those yellow segments in there.
Yep.
And they make me sad because they last 2 minutes sometimes. And I get 2 minutes of what I'm watching after that, and then we're back to an ad.
Right. And if you're not paying attention, you will just sit there because it's those stupid choose your own adventure ads.
Ugh.
Have you come across those ones?
I haven't.
Okay, well, it's which one do you like more? Ocean breeze or long highway drive? And if you don't select something, you're waiting for a minute, and then you look up and you're I haven't heard an ad play. And you're oh crap, it's been 50 seconds. I haven't selected one. Then you select one and you have to watch that. Yeah, it's rough. They're really trying to get you to pay for the ad-free Hulu. But yeah, Apple TV, we've been talking about it a little recently. There's some shows that are catching my eye that I'd like to watch sometime, but I'm not one of the 20 million.
And maybe that makes sense because I've been seeing a lot more advertisements and people just talking about their better shows. And there's this new space one I saw that looked really good.
Oh yeah, it just got renewed for season 2. The Foundation, I think it's called.
Yeah, Foundation.
Yeah.
That looks really good, and maybe that's in light of these numbers. They're just trying to pump some cash in here and try and get the subscriber count up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. But it's Apple, so no need
to
worry.
I feel like if I subscribe, I'm going to end up buying an iPhone or something, though. Ugh, that's what I'm afraid of.
That's the problem. I just hate everything that's Apple. A lot. But anyways, we'll move on. We'll get off our Apple hating soapboxes, but
that's why we have someone that loves Apple right for us.
True. Yes, and I'm married to someone who loves Apple, which is painful at times. But anyways, it is nearing Halloween, and what's more iconic during Halloween than the movie Scream? I do not know. You like that, Nick? That was off the top of the head.
So good.
But yeah, we can celebrate Scream and Halloween by staying at the original house from the movies. With the help of Airbnb, Paramount, and Spyglass Media, you can stay at the original Scream house. Those who choose to do so will be treated to the ultimate fan experience, with some of the offerings including exploring the original house, knife marks on the doors to the garage included, a movie marathon, all 4 Scream movies, of course, and a dedicated phone line for reaching Ghostface. There's 3 one-night stays available and will cost only $5 a night. Dang.
What?
Wow. That's pretty gnarly. I bet those $5 nights are already gone and spoken for. But it's cool, a cool story nonetheless. And continuing with Scream news, the first trailer for the new Scream movie is set to debut today, October 11th. So we record and live stream our newscast on Mondays. So if you're listening to this audio version or catching it later on YouTube, the trailer would have already came out. But the 2022 sequel will release its first trailer today, October 11th. A few months ahead of the movie's January release, which again, I feel like they really dropped the ball there. I mean, probably COVID related, but still hate to see a horror movie not release around Halloween. But the cast will include Jack Quaid from our favorite The Boys. He is Howie, I believe is his name. We say it's our favorite show, but I can't remember.
Been so long since season 2.
It has been so long. And Dylan Minnette from 13 Reasons Why. No plot details have been released as of yet, besides the stereotypical ones: young woman, yada yada, mysterious murders, blah blah blah. I mean, come on, it's a Scream movie. You know what to expect. Yeah, exciting stuff. I love Scream.
You know, I never really got into them. They were always just kind of like on TV type kind of thing for me.
You got to watch the first one. Classic.
That's what I hear. I'm gonna have to. Maybe I'll watch that for our 20 episode on 21st. Let's just pick that one right now.
Do it.
Anyway, continuing onward, I have one last article from myself. The Batman co-writer Mattson Tomlin is writing the script for Keanu Reeves' comic book adaptation of...
I'm going to say it's Berserker.
Berserker? Yeah, thank you for putting all those letters together with no vowels for me. I'm really bad at that. The Netflix film will be an R-rated following of an Immortal Warrior's 80,000 year fight through the ages. Keanu's character is a half-god who is compelled to violence. He eventually takes up working for the U.S. government in exchange for information on how to end his desire for violence and ultimately break the curse. Well, I can tell you right now, you're not going to cure your quest for violence by by working for the U.S. government.
This is an odd name for a John Wick sequel.
Right? Yeah. Like, oh, he's a god in retirement. Get it now.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'll take it.
I mean, it's basically what, an autobiography?
Yeah, exactly. It's just John Wick,
Immortal.
79,980 years from now.
Yeah, it's not John Wick 4. It's just John Wick Immortal. Like,
yeah, exactly. It should be good. I'll check it out.
Right.
And our last article of the day here is actually a quite important one. And we saved the best for last around here, of course, which is exactly how we planned it. But this one, we might be having a nationwide film and TV strike, which is rather big news for us, obviously. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which I say in my mind as IATSE. So there's that little tidbit of information. The union president now has the power to bring film and TV production to a grinding halt. Union members overwhelmingly voted to approve the strike authorization with a whopping 98.7% voting in support of the measure. While talks will continue for now with the studios, the union has solidified its position and made it clear that they're serious about their demands, which revolve around health, safety, and quality of life issues like working hours, health funds, and meal breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. If a strike were to occur, it would be the first time in 128 years, which is a really long freaking time.
They really need to revise their working conditions. You know, I think I need to join this union.
Yeah. Meal breaks, those are kind of important.
Yeah, I know. I mean, basically what it's like to work with Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Works
get
me to
any
death over
ideas.
here.
We're not going to be unionizing the Showboys podcasting staff at all.
But I mean, this is totally true. I mean, when you hear these stories, even like, these documentaries, especially on Disney, where it just seems like the life of the party to work on these things, like Star Wars stuff, Marvel stuff. But then you like probably step back and like think about it. It's like they work them nonstop all the time to make this stuff happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. And I have a few friends on Facebook, mainly. I mean, I'm just really talking about Mick Manhattan, let's be real. Who's, worked in the industry, and when this news broke, he obviously showed his support for the IATSE. That makes me sound Italian, kind of. But anyways, it's just ridiculous that I mean, I get it's show business and they have like crazy production schedules and
Yeah.
times to film stuff, but like also people are human beings and probably should be treated like them. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess, we also have to just be more comfortable with delays and, because people get upset when things get pushed and everything. And obviously, a lot of that happened because of the pandemic. And maybe because of the pandemic, a lot of people are realizing, like, oh, well, if we can just like kind of push these dates back because there's a valid reason, maybe we can get like some meal breaks in here too.
Yeah, maybe I could like
Or
eat
like
once a day.
health funds for in case there is a pandemic and I have no work or I'm unhealthy.
Yeah. So even though it pains me that there may be a potential strike to the things that we love to consume, I think it's safe to say that we here at Showboys stand in solidarity with the IATSE members. Or at least I do. Hey,
I do too.
go get some bennies for yourself.
Get
Stand
those
up.
15-minute lunch breaks,
That's right. Way to take a stand.
the things that matter.
Down with the
128
man.
years.
That's what I say. Down with the man.
128 years and not getting nothing.
That's right. It's time to rise up. Anyways, I think that about does it for the newscast tonight, guys.
That's right. And once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this both entertaining and informative. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe everywhere you consume our content. Find all the places we publish our content on our link tree.
Link tr.ee/Showboys podcast. Be sure to join our Discord server and become a member of the Showboys community to hang out with the Showboys staff and other listeners, as well as get some cool perks such as being able to see all the articles we had to choose from for this episode of the newscast but weren't able to squeeze in the episode. All article links covered in the episode will be available in Discord as well.
If you have anything you'd like us to cover in more detail or include in a future show, please comment here where available or email us at showboyspodcast@gmail.com. And as Mike said, join us in our Showboys Discord.
We will see you Thursday. Have a wonderful evening.